Hello and welcome back to another tutorial. This is part 2 to the Ender Dragon. So in this tutorial we're going to add the parts of the wing that stretch in these bits here, so that when the wing bones move out it stretches with it, which is pretty simple to do, and the legs, and maybe some of the extra detail. So let's just first start by making sure this I keychain here is linked to the body. So using the selected link tool, which is up in the top left top corner, and just drag and link it, just in case you haven't done that. And then let's start with just expanding it like this, and because you should have already animated it like this. So at 100 frames, so make sure I move over the timestamp over there. So first let's go to the create geometry and create a tab, create a plane, and change the length segments and width segments to 0, or to 1 I mean. And then right click and convert it to an editable poly. And I think, oops, make sure you're not still on the link and selecting the link tool. You won't be able to select the, yeah, okay. So select a vertex in the modify panel tab, and in the vertex selection, so it's the 3-dot one, select 2 of the vertexes on each corner here. And under edit vertices you should see connect, and turn that on. Click it, and then delete one of the other vertices like I've done here, so that we only have 3 vertices. And once you've done that, you're going to want to turn on snaps toggle and right click on it and make sure it's got only vertex ticked and not grid points. And once you've done that, turn on the vertex selection again, and we're going to put these on each one of these bones. So with with snap toggle on, with the move tool selected, you can see a little circle in the center here that allow us to move the entire vertex in all directions. So do that until you get it to the very center of this bone here, if you can, or as close as possible. It's not going to be really noticeable that much. This close up, as you can see, that's in the center on that one. And take the other vertex and put it at the top if you can. This one's a bit more difficult to do. Try and find the center if you can, which is about there, where all these bones are all linking to here. And then of course the next one goes to the other. That should now look correct, hopefully. Make sure you've actually made these bones move out, because that looks like I haven't. So just need to rotate this a bit. So make sure they're actually animated, so that they're going as far as they're gonna go. So I think that's as far as mine's gonna go. So all I need to do is redo this vertex and move it over. Okay, just make sure they're animated, or else you'll have this issue that I have here. But it shouldn't really matter, because after we've made it so it stretches, you should be able to animate it so that the wings are properly the way you want them to be. So once you've got them all in the location you want them to be in, select the two that are, select two of the vertices. Make sure they're not the two that are on the very end, so these two wings, but the ones that are on either this or this. So I'm just going to select these two here, and then what I'm going to do is go to the modifier list and add an X form. Let me double check. Alright. It's a linked X form, not an X form. A linked X form. And once you've done that, you're going to want to click on the pick control object and just pick the bone. So what we should see is when that bone is going back, you can see that the vertices are following except for the one that we haven't linked yet. So then what we need to do is go to modify list and then edit poly, and in the vertex selection option again we're going to select just this vertex on this one here, and then add another linked X form. So modifier list, linked X form, and then choose this bone. And what we should see, hopefully, is it working. As you can see, it's worked. Hooray. And by the looks of it, I've screwed mine up. I see why. As you can see, it's forming the way it should. It's good. So you got to do that again for the next two. So again, just make another. You might want to just copy this one over 3 times. Oops. I'd copy it once and then do that. And then just do the same as I just showed you. And just simply using the snap toggle, move them to the center of each bone. Now it's up to you if you want to texture these before you do this, but it's up to you. I've decided for mine that I won't texture mine because the black color pretty much is just about right for most of it, but it's up to you. So if you want to do the texturing for it, it's probably best to do it before you do this. So again, when you've got them, just choose 2 of the vertices and then linked X form, and then select make sure you select the bone, not the plane. Oops. Okay, I shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, again, modify list, edit poly, and then select the vertice and linked X form, and then pick the object and just double check it works. Now I won't show you the next one because it's exactly the same as I just showed you, but I will show you how to copy them over because it would be annoying to have to do this again. So after you've made sure you've done all the stuff you want to do to it, you know, texturing and all that, and you're ready to move it over, just select all the wing. Make sure you got it all selected, all the bones that are there, and definitely the little ones at the very end. And don't forget to include the little dummy as well. And then when you've done that, just with the selected move tool, hold down shift and move. Oh, okay, cancel. Make sure you've actually got snap toggle off. And move it over. Now, as you'll notice, the planes go the opposite way, but we'll fix that. And you might want to move that. And then just animate it so it goes in the opposite direction, so we definitely know it works. You might want to use the align tool to make sure it's perfectly aligned to the other one. As you can see, it's working. Which is good. So next I'll show you something that you might get when you reopen the file. So as you can see, I've just reopened the file, and you can now see that the wings are now all going weird and not correct. So the way to fix this is, because you can see when we click on one of the planes that are now screwed up, which is the ones we just copied, you can see that the edit poly here doesn't have any dots by it, and that's because it didn't copy them over. So what you need to do is select the two vertices. Oops, the two vertices that weren't selected. So you probably just need to click on the dot dot, and it'll automatically reselect it, and then it should fix it. As you can see now, that one's properly fixed. And then simply have to go to the other one, go back to the editable poly, click on the three dots, and then go back, and there you go, it's fixed again. As you can see. So yeah, you shouldn't have that issue again now, so you just have to resave it, and it should work. It won't flip out again. So now we've done that, we'll go on to the legs. So what we need to do for the legs is go to the create geometry and create a box. And we'll do the front leg first, which is the length is 15, width is 15.15, and the height is 45. And then we're just going to rotate this about 180 degrees and just position it where you think the leg will probably be, which is about halfway in about. And you're going to want to rotate it about 40 degrees, probably more. Maybe move it up a bit so that it's barely sticking out the bottom. And then you're going to want to, with local selected under this drop down box here for your selected move, you're going to want to hold down shift and just copy it down so it's about here. Not right at the end, but close to it. And then you're going to want to rotate that probably 40 degree, 85 degrees or so, probably more. And you're going to want to change the length to 14, the width to 14, and the height to 40. And then you're probably going to want to down shift and copy that again to the very bottom. And change the length to keep it length to 14, change the width to 5, and change the height to 12. And then you're going to want to copy that again to near the end, and then just rotate it till it's flat on the ground. You might want to move it down as well. It's about there, and that's pretty much how the first leg is actually going to look like. So once you've done that, for the second part, the leg, right click on it and convert to editable poly, and then using the attach tool, which is under edit geometry, attach this part of the foot. So now we just need to create the bones. So see how I did mine, I've forgotten it. Yeah, okay. So just like we've done before, go into the create tab, we go to systems, we go to bones, make sure we have snap toggle on, and then in the very center, which you should already have segments to 2 to 2, select the centers if you can. If you can't, get it close. We'll fix it after. Mine did go. Once you've got the bones made, first thing to do is to select the top bone and use the selecting link and select it and link it to the body. And once you've done that, you're going to want to have that bone selected still. Go to animation, I key solvers, I key limb solver, and choose the bone right here, the third bone down. And then make sure it's working, make sure it's going in the right direction. As you can see, it is. So make sure that is. And then selecting the bottom bone, the fourth bone down, select animation, I key solvers, I key limb solver, and choose the very last bone. And then just test it, see if it works. Which by looks of it, it's working pretty well. So then you just need to attach all the boxes to the bones. And then just test it again. See if it's working. The likelihood is you won't be needing these two separate, so you should just copy them most of the time. Have both of them moving at the same time most of the time. See, it seems to be working pretty well. Just do that back. So now that's the front leg done. So we'll just do the next one, which is the back leg. So go to the create tab, geometry, and make a box, and change the length to 16, width 16, and height to 45. And then you're going to want to rotate about 180 degrees, start off with, and then move it into position. So, yeah. And then you're going to want to rotate it about 20 degrees, 25 degrees, up to you. And move it up about there, kind of area. And then you want to make sure it's on local for your move tool, and hold down shift and move it down to about there. Then we're going to rotate it to about 90 degrees. And you're going to want to change the dimensions by 14.9, width 15, and the height to 35. And then you're going to want to copy it again, so hold down shift and just move it to the very end. And change the dimensions to keep the first one as 14.9, width to 6, and the height to 30. And then we're just going to rotate it, make sure it's on local, just in case. And then rotate it by about 90 degrees, and then just move it so that's about slightly higher than the actual leg. And then you're going to want to copy that again and change the dimensions to the height to 50, that's all, and then rotate it till it's flat on the ground, and then position it so that you don't get that crease there. Okay, so there we go, we have the leg. So again, for this second part of the leg, right click and convert it to an editable poly, and under edit geometry use the attach tool and attach this part of the foot. So I'll just double check. Okay, so what you need to do now is create bones. So again, go to the create, systems, bones, and make sure snap toggle is on, and then just choose bones correctly. Might want to move them around. I'm gonna make that bone top move down a bit. So bone edit mode. Move this down about here. It's just on that axis I can move it, so it goes to that. Yeah, that looks alright. So once you've done that, make sure that's all. First thing to do is always to make sure you have the bone attached to the body, because eye keys can be really annoyed when you don't. So drag that onto that, the attach tool, which is up the top left corner. And once you've done that, you're going to want to have the top bone selected. Make sure you're on selection, select object and not link to animation, eye key limb solver, and choose this bone here that we created. That's just there, and just double check it works. Make sure you got snap toggle off. Make sure it works, make sure it's not going all weird and funny. And then at the very bottom, the second from final bone, animation, eye key solver, eye key limb solver, and choose the very last one. And we should now test that. Seems to be working. So now all you need to do is attach the legs. And test it again. Yep, it seems to be working. So now that's all done. Now we just need to copy them over. So make sure you got all of it selected. Make sure everything is, and then simply hold down Shift and move it over. Okay. Whoa. Make sure you're not on local, make sure you're on view when you're doing this. Then you should be able to move it over without any problems. And there you go, you've got a basic geometry for it. You may want to attach the head to the body, that's up to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I won't really show you much of the basic geometry because that's quite simple. You just need to as you see on mine, as mine's got this tail, I just slowly decrease the width by about 0.5 each one of these, and maybe the height slightly as well. So that's pretty much all you need to do. Also, I'll show you the mouth though. So if you want your mouth to open like it does on mine, simply with the nose selected, right click, convert to editable poly, edges selection, which is the triangle, select these 4 lines, and then you're going to want to click on the connect, which is edges, edit edges, and click on the little box by connect, and you'll get a line, and you're going to want to use the slide option and just slide it down a bit, not too much, maybe about 40, maybe 35, it's up to you. And using the polygon face, just select the bottom ones and detach them. And then in the hierarchy, effect pivot only, we're going to want to use the snap toggle, and we're going to move it so it's about there, as you can see. So only on these 2 axes, you don't want to move it out from the center. And as you can see, if we open it now, you can see it looks better. Another thing you might want to do as well is go to the modify tab, modify list, and then shell, so add a shell. And I change the outer amount to 0 and put the inner amount up to about 1 or so, it's up to you. So as you can see now, it looks more than just a flat shape. This will also fix it if you see it invisible inside, which if you do and you don't want to add any thickness to the mouth, make sure that 2-sided is on. If it's not, then planes will look invisible on one side, which you would definitely probably need to do for the wings. So make sure you have 2-sided on, because everyone always asks, why is it invisible? It's because you haven't got 2-sided on, most likely. Because planes only have one side facing, which means you'll be invisible unless you turn on 2-sided. So make sure that is on with any material you're adding it to. I can't really show you on mine, but yeah. Okay, it seems to have cracked it. Okay, but yeah, that's because the render I'm using doesn't. Oh wait, yes. Okay, yeah. As you can see in the viewport, the faces are invisible on one side. That's because you don't have 2-sided on. So make sure you have 2-sided on. So yeah, if you got any questions, leave it in the comments. I would do one on texturing, but I'll leave the texturing in the texture in the description. I've just gone with black. It just seems so normal for this. The eyes are pretty basic. If you need to know how to do the UV mapping for the textures, I pretty much do in every other video, so just check those out if you need any help for that. So thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. So yeah, bye.